Sometimes when we need other people in our enterprise, we go to work on them. When the real key is, first of all, to go to work on yourself and become an attractive person. Now, it's not a bad idea to ponder and think, what would make me an attractive person? Here's one, a refinement of philosophy, so that you really understand life and challenge to the best of your ability. Your philosophy about the marketplace and politics and government and the work ethic. Your philosophy of values and contributions. Your philosophy that understands each of us need all of us and all of us need each of us. Each value is important. The miracle of America is all the gifts that have been flowing in here for the last 300-400 years, especially the last 200 years. No country in the last 6,000 years has become such a depository of the gifts of the world like America has the last 200 years. There's been nothing like it in recorded history. So many of the gifts of the whole world deposited in one country. My grandparents came from Odessa, Russia, came to America, settled in a place in central Washington, and my father was born in Odessa, Washington. Interesting, huh? Wow. The gifts that we have in this country are so multiplied. People from all over the world have come here, and they didn't come empty-handed. They brought their recipes. They brought the work ethic. They brought the gift of language. They brought the gift of law. They brought the gift of music, the gift of medicine, the gift of healing. America is such a composite of all the gifts of the world. The ethnic streams that have been flowing in here have made us great. Ethnic cleansing. Where would we start? Amazing. Now here's what we need to do. Participate in the gifts that America has. Now here's the joy I have, to go back where these gifts came from. That's why I love to go back to Italy, and I love to go to Poland, and I love to go to Czechoslovakia, and I love to go to Israel, and I love to go to all the places around the world to see where America came from. And then the gifts they brought here helped me to develop my gifts. Now I'm taking some of my gifts back to where it came from. Can you imagine the feeling of now making that transcontinental contribution? Because they came here, now I go there. It's big time for a farm kid from Idaho. But to attract attractive people, you must be attractive now, working hard on yourself. Jot this down. Leadership is really the challenge to be something better than mediocre, something better than average. The step above, not just to be above from ego standpoint, but the step above so you can help someone else. What speaker was it that said, in order to lift someone up, you must be on higher ground? How true. And the challenge of leadership to be something more than average or mediocre, to think but not just become a thinker, to have a philosophy but not to become just a philosopher. I know they call me, the great business philosopher, which I like the title, it's okay. But my philosophy says, jot it down, results is the name of the game. The name of the game is not philosophy. Philosophy is just a useful tool to set you on a good track so that a year from now you'll be in a better place than you would have on the old track. Hopefully most everybody here, maybe everybody here, is going to set a new track for your health and for your family and for your future and for your activity and for your productivity and for your spirituality and all the rest of good values. Here's one more. In terms of sophistication, doesn't take much to learn and practice the art of sophistication. Here's a good one. Humor without folly. Humor has its place, but just don't cross the line so that your humor becomes folly. Next, it's okay to be witty, but not silly. If you want to lead as a parent and lead as a manager and lead as an entrepreneur, if you want to lead as a community leader and lead as a senator and lead as an important person of influence and power, witty, yes. Silly, no. Next, every leader must understand the law of averages so you can use it for your benefit and for your company, anything you might be involved in. Here's what the law of averages says. If you do something often enough, you'll get a ratio of results. And anyone can create this ratio. In baseball, we simply call it batting average. If you go up to bat 10 times, get a hit, we say you're batting 100. 3 hits out of 10, you're batting 300. You don't have to be perfect going up to bat. These days, batting 250, 300, you can make $4 or $5 million a year. In sales, that's about all you got to do. You don't need to bat 1,000. Perfect. You can get plenty of no's, but the yeses can make you rich. So don't worry about the no's. Concentrate on the yeses that make you rich. Key. Once the ratio starts, it tends to continue. If you can get 1 yes out of 10 presentations, chances are if you give 10 more presentations, you get another one. 10 more, you get another one. Next, the ratio can be improved. The 4th time you talk to 10, you get 2 instead of 1. Now you're starting to grow. We must also understand the ratio and the law of averages when it comes to dealing with all of the projects concerning human beings. Here's the simple ratio. Everything's a pyramid. Just make that note. Everything is a pyramid. And the reason is because all humans are different in temperament and desire and goal setting. If we go to university and we count the number of freshmen, so now we count the number of sophomores. Is it the same number of sophomores as freshmen? The stuff's not hard now. This is real easy stuff. If we count now the sophomores, are there just as many sophomores as freshmen? And the answer is no. Somebody says, why is that? It's just one of those things. You don't need to study this. Now, if in the university we were to now count the juniors, the junior class, count them, would there be as many juniors as sophomores? No. You say, well, shouldn't we fix this? And the answer is no. This is the way it is. Since everybody's different, everybody has different ambitions, this is not moral value now that we place on, that morally, sophomores are better than freshmen. We say no, it's just that the numbers are smaller. Are there as many seniors as juniors? No. Now here is one answer to why. Number one, life takes its inevitable toll. Some didn't make it from one class to the next simply because their life was taken. They lost their life. Next, each human being has a different set of visions for their own future. Some are willing to settle for more safety than risk. Safer to be an employee than to be an entrepreneur. So that's not a moral question between being an employee and an entrepreneur. Sometimes it's a matter of temperament. And sometimes you have to be careful what you teach in mass, because there's such a variety of temperament. There was one philosophy for a while that said everybody should plunge into debt. Mortgage your house and mortgage your car and pile up as much debt as you possibly can. Then you'll have this unbelievable incentive to become incredibly successful. Well, jot this down. What's an incredible incentive to one is devastation to another. So you can't recommend grandly something like that because it depends on a person's temperament. Somebody says, we all should. Probably not. So you have to be careful what you teach in mass. Not everybody should, not everybody will. And this is not a moral question. Here's what it is, personal decision. And what you must learn to do is understand that each individual has dignity because we're created by a creator and given dignity and rights. Rights to stay, rights to grow, rights to be safe rather than to risk. And you can't call one moral and one immoral. That's not true. It's just a matter of personal choice. Here's the best we can teach. Everybody should do the best they can with where they want to be. Sometimes people linger for a long time in the freshman class, and then suddenly they decide to grow. Now they graduate and become entrepreneurs and bless the world. Who knows when those things will occur? To understand what people want to do. I used to hope that everyone would do the same. I would hope that everyone would want to be extremely successful. I used to say, I'm going to change these people if it kills me. I almost died. I mean, you can't change them. Not a matter of morality, not a matter of demeaning, but whoever wants to do whatever they do, our best encouragement is to do the best you can and keep learning, do the best you can and keep learning, do whatever you want to do and keep learning. Here's what I discovered. It was one of the surprising discoveries I made. People of modest means can become sophisticated because learning sophistication and practicing it is not expensive. How much is a book on unique sophistication to bless your life? $30? It's not $3,000. It's not $30,000. How much is a library card? It's free. The study and practice of sophistication is available to everyone no matter what their modest means or wealthy means. Because jot this down. Wealth does not guarantee sophistication. Wealth doesn't guarantee the graces. I know a guy that's rich, he's a clod. His money has done nothing for him in terms of sophistication and uniqueness. And yet someone of very modest means can become very sophisticated. They know the graces. They live a unique life, even though they have modest means. So understand that all life is a pyramid. Let everybody do whatever they wish to do. Encourage everybody to do better. But let people linger if they wish to linger. Let them grow if they wish to grow. Help them change if they wish to change. Here's what's next if you're working with people to understand. Learn to work with the people who deserve it, not the people who need it. Because we must operate like life operates. Life was designed not to give us what we need. Life was designed to give us what we deserve. And if you've got people to work with the ones that deserve it. Now, here's the next part that's very important for a leader, management, to understand. Now you must teach people how to deserve your time. You must teach people how to deserve your help. You say, Mary, if you'll do this and this, I'll do all of this. And if you'll do this and this and this, I'm telling you, I will do all of this. I will meet you more than, what? Halfway, but you got to come toward the halfway part. And probably since I'm so anxious to work with you, if you'll start taking these steps, I'll probably meet you more than halfway. We learn not to go all the way just because of need, unless someone needs to be rescued, unless the situation is out of control and there's no other way. Yes. Next, don't expect the pear tree to bear apples. I used to try to change everything. You can hang apples on a pear tree. I'm telling you, it won't help. You can put up a sign, this is an apple tree. Sure enough, come the season, pears. Here's what I learned. You cannot change people, but they can change themselves. You cannot change people, but they can change themselves. Incredible. Capital in your business isn't what matters. Okay, it's not the money that buys you a future. It's your skills that buy you a future. Money and no skills, and I'm telling you, you're still poor. Money and no ambition, where are you? Money and no courage, you're broke. A little bit of money and a whole lot of courage. That's all we need. I'm looking for people when I'm recruiting back in those days, and the money didn't matter. What mattered to me was somebody's willingness, somebody's ingenuity, somebody's willingness to try. Right? If they had $1 to invest, that was plenty for me. $1 and some ambition, and I can show you how to get rich. And it'll be one of the classic stories of the company. I go to recruit somebody, they say, I don't have any money. See, I've been looking for you for 6 months. Let me show you how to do it without any money. Because here's the rules of capitalism. Jot this down. You can either buy and sell, or if you're in certain circumstances, you can sell and buy. If you've got ambition. Now, if you haven't got ambition, we can't cure that, and money won't cure lack of ambition. But if you've got $1 and some ambition, I'll show you how to get rich. And even if you don't have $1, I'll show you how to get rich, because you can sell and buy. Somebody says, as soon as the product arrives, I'll sell it. Then you don't understand. You don't understand the magic of fortune if you say, I have to wait till it gets here to sell it. And you probably don't understand the value of your own story. Once I understood that, I knew I was going to be wealthy. That's why right in the beginning I started giving big tips. I knew I was going to be wealthy. Say, wow, this guy tips like a rich man. Say, that's right, he tips like a rich man. Even in the beginning, I tipped like a rich man because I knew I was going to be